when you're okay with yourself, you're less needy. And that means you can add value to other people's lives in such a more effective way. And I've seen this all the time because I'm in the media, and there's so much people go into the media because they're needy a lot of times. They need attention, they need significance. And I'm sure that was part of the mix originally for me, wanting to be a newsman or whatever it was, because that's very human. But growing out of that, man, just owning, like you said, like owning your awkwardness and being okay with that, it just allows you, the idea of blessing someone, that literally just means adding value to someone's life.
Hello, my Misfit friends, and welcome to our little aisle where every square peg finds their way in the round holes of life. Today, I am pretty darned thrilled to introduce our very special guest to you. And the only way to do it is to tell you what I said to him when I slid into his email as a total stranger. You had me at Misfit. And why did I tell him this? Well, because he actually wrote a book just for us called Blessed Are the Misfits. Talk about customer service. I know. So you can see why I just had to reach out. So, however, we're not here to talk about that book, although I might try to slide it in. And I do highly recommend that you read it. But that was several books ago for him, and I'm only catching up to him now. And honestly, I'm just thrilled, as I've already said, to talk to him about anything. But it just so happens that he just came out with another book called Life is Hard, God is Good. Let's dance. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to dance. We're going to chat with this Misfit fellow friend. His name, by the way, is Brant. Hansen, perhaps you've heard of him. And for the third time, I am here to say how thrilled I am to have you on the Isle of Misfits. So welcome, Brant.
I'm honored, big time. Thank you.
You're welcome. And that was a long monologue, but I think you deserve the long monologue, right? I'm in the Incredibles. I'm monologuing. But yeah, truly, I'm just thrilled to have you here. I just said it again. And I also learned, I said, I'm just catching up to you. And I realized something because you, up until at some point in the, I don't know, recent, not so recent past, lived in Harrisburg, which is not too far from where I am now, but you no longer live there. Where do you live now?
I live in Jupiter, Florida. So it's like an hour. It's in Palm Beach County. So it's on the Atlantic coast in South Florida.
Okay, so we're pretty much hating you like from November to March. So yeah, well, but nothing personal.
Yeah, I'm also originally from Illinois, and so it's very flat. Rural Illinois. It's very cold, flat, windy. Oh my!
Oh, so that's Buffalo. So then you know Buffalo, Sans, Niagara Falls. You've just described Buffalo.
Right. So every day I wake up. Honestly, I'm thankful to the Lord that I'm here, but I appreciate the people that aren't here and what you have to deal with. Much respect.
Oh, yeah. Although I will, all right, I've dissed my hometown, but Buffalo in the summer is quite lovely. I don't know if you've ever been up here. But
I agree. I think upstate New York in general is kind of underrated in that way, how beautiful it is in the summer. But
yes,
I was working for Cure, this hospital network, and I still do. But I moved to Harrisburg because they were founded there and they had their headquarters there. And they were like, we'd like to have you here. So we did. We moved from California to there. And then they announced they're moving their headquarters from there to Grand Rapids, Michigan. And it was at that point, I was like, you know what?
Okay.
We already kind of took one.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. So maybe we'll go to South Florida or something instead. So they were cool with it. So I just
did the commute.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yes. And you also are a radio personality. So let's talk a little bit about that before we get into other important topics. So so tell us about that.
Well, I didn't intend to be a radio personality per se, but it worked out this way. I was a newsman and they found me.
I heard the story. Yes.
Kind of quirky. And so over time they would leave
Think about Toast, right?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
It's in the book. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. So very quirky, and that actually makes for good radio. I'm on the spectrum, which I talk about in Blessed Are the Misfits a lot. And I think that makes you kind of blunt and really honest. Sometimes that honesty if it's not mature, it can be hurtful. But if it is, you learn to rein that in the right way, but still be honest, that can make for really effective radio.
Oh, absolutely. It can be refreshing or it can be cutting. Yeah.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
Absolutely. And so in a context as a Jesus follower, like it's just vulnerable, I guess. And so that cuts through because everything in media is selling something, posing this way, putting up an image first approach. And so I think that's what helps. It's not my delivery isn't smooth or anything. My show's a little bit of a train wreck. There's a lot of laughs in it, but I think that it stands apart because of the difference that's going on there. So yeah.
Well, you are singing our song right now. You are in the right place with the right people, because that's, yes, own your awkward is one of my top core values in life. So there you have it.
Heck yeah. And that's a compelling thing, isn't it? Like everybody else is trying to be cool. Well, if you abandon that, I abandoned it basically I abandoned hope of being cool. Like I could try it, and it's not going to work out. I'm just going to wind up doing something incredibly cringe. So
just lean into it, man. Right?
You lean into it, you own it, and that's a nice space to be in. And then you know what? You can actually be a blessing to people too, because you're not worried about coming off as smooth. You're not worried. Right. Like now, I can actually focus on the listener. How can I'm literally thinking, how can I be a blessing to the person listening to this show? Like, how can I say something that would encourage her or him?
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine making it about the people who are listening, right? And not making it about.
That's a real advantage. If I'm not needy, trying to be cool or trying to get people to like me, well, that's a huge advantage. So
Yeah, I think in one of your chapters, you articulated it so well. It's like the law of coolness. Like when you stop trying to be cool, then all of a sudden you become cool. But then you have to be careful not to fall into that trap again. And yeah, I appreciated that.
Yes, it's the vicious cycle or virtuous cycle of like, hey, you're not trying to be cool. Now you're cool. Like, well, as soon as you lean into that, you're not cool anymore. So don't.
Exactly.
Just give up.
Yeah, it's a circle of life. So much to talk to you about, but we're going to start here. My listeners know they're well prepared, and I tried to prepare you just a little bit, just out of the courtesy of the Misfit Honor Code. So we have a tradition here. We'd like to do something. It's a time-honored tradition. We play a stupid game, and I try to always just cater them, customize them, lovingly handcraft them in the time-honored tradition of our forefathers. So yours is custom made for you. And it's basically, we're going easy on you today. No quizzes, just a question based on, we had a little bit of an email exchange. I just went on a big family crazy trip, and I was telling you a little bit about it, and we went on a cruise. And I hear you've been on a cruise or two as well.
Yeah. My wife and I just celebrated our last cruise ever recently.
Your last cruise ever? Maybe that's part of the story I'm about to ask.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I'm half joking, but it's as an introvert.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and here's what happened too. I am so thankful I got to do this. By the way, I'm not complaining, but I was speaking on a Christian cruise. So it was all couples. And I mean, it's 3,600 people. And so you speak at these main sessions or whatever. Well, as soon as you do that, the rest of the week, everybody knows who you are.
Oh, yeah, you're out. You are out. So, okay. So I'm going to pause you right there just for a second to set this thing up. So here's the question. So, I'll try not to introduce too much of my own life into this. So, weirdest thing that has ever happened to you on a cruise, and that could be it, just what you told me. But if you'd like to extrapolate, you're welcome.
On this last cruise, I could probably think of other things, but I spoke, and it was wildly stormy outside, and no one on the cruise ship had ever experienced anything like this, where it was rocking violently. People were nauseous. People were throwing up. They did not cancel my session. I was literally on all fours on stage.
You're rocking the boat, baby.
With the microphone.
Rock the boat,
just laughing like, oh my goodness. So people hung in there, but one woman got up and went to the back and vomited. And
don't take it personally, right?
Right. that's not the usual reaction to what I'm doing, but it happens. So, but the hardest thing is honestly, everybody's so well intended and so sweet, and each person is every bit as important as I am. However, if you can't leave, and everybody knows who you are,
You're
like
trapped.
you're on the elliptical machine 7, 8 times. People are like, "Hey, man, don't mean to bug you, but I just wanted to. Can't eat, can't go anywhere. Like, there's no escape."
This is true.
So
I mean, there is, but you just, you
I
don't,
don't.
you don't want to cause a national,
Yeah, jumping overboard
yeah,
is the.
the Coast Guard. You don't want to get the Coast Guard involved.
And that's kind of my motto and has been for a long time.
Don't get the Coast Guard involved.
Get the Coast Guard involved, because as a successful speaker, I feel like that's just kind of been a mantra for me. So
I can see, and I can see it served you well.
yes,
So so
their
congratulations.
involvement has been minimal at this point in my speaking career. So that was pretty weird, to be honest.
Okay, nice. And that is, so you've decided that is your last cruise.
I know the violent rocking coupled with the inability to escape. I don't know. I feel like all-inclusive resorts might be the Lord's calling for me.
That's true, because the chances of those violently rocking are significantly less, unless you're like in Italy or someplace that has volcanic activity and earthquakes.
Absolutely. So, but that's that, and then I'm, So I feel called now to all exclusive resorts.
Got it. Yes, the call of the Lord. Yes, I understand. So, can I ask you where? You don't have to name the cruise line because that would be wrong. But where in the world were you in this rocky, stormy cruise?
We were orbiting Canada, or not Canada. Good grief, that'd be ambitious. I'd do that. We were actually going around Cuba.
Oh, okay. All right. So it was sort of Caribbean-esque.
I want to note that I said a little bit ago, because I don't want to forget that I had this idea. I said all exclusive resort. And I think that's a hilarious.
You could brand that, actually.
Yes, I think that could be a thing.
It probably is a thing, actually, somewhere.
Everything is excluded.
Yes, everything.
So can't even walk on the sidewalks. It's all exclusive.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Only a certain clientele. So, but that's a whole other topic. We don't want to. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry for that, and yet I'm glad to hear that your policy has served you well of not getting the Coast Guard involved. So I promised I wouldn't inject my life, but I'm going to just a little bit. So so this cruise that I was telling you about, this was our first cruise. We were very fortunate. The seas were calm. But I will say I traveled with 2 engineers. So right there, that should tell you something on the introversion scale. So I'm right on that line. I'm right in the middle. I'm not extremely extroverted. I'm just in the middle. But I was instructed by both my husband and my daughter, who are both engineers, to don't make eye contact with anyone. So so there was that. But it was a good time.
Yeah, I actually tried to hide, literally, behind things, like eat behind things. But everybody's wonderful. It's an honor. Yes.
People are wonderful. So.
They are.
Yes.
Sweet.
Well, thank you. Thank you for playing. Yeah. So typically what I do in our stupid games, I used to have mugs. I know our listeners can't see it, but these are the mugs I used to send people, and then I ran out. But now I'm sending random things from my house. So I'm happy to send you something random, something, we're de-junking, it won't be a piano, but something.
Fantastic. Yeah. Surprise me.
Could be a piece of toast. Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. Okay. So now that we've gotten that very important part over with, I want to, all right, like I said, and I don't know if I should apologize to you. I feel like I should have heard of you long before I did, but I think, thanks to the Instagrammer algorithms, I just came across this book called Blessed Are the Misfits. And I had it at first, I'm like, crap, he wrote the book that I have been threatening to write for years. So I guess I don't have to write a book anymore. But I was so excited to read it. And I don't know if I said this while we've been recording, but I'll say it anyway. I feel between this book and the last book that I read, like there's some mentoring happening that I've deeply, deeply appreciated.
That's cool.
So I know it can't just be me, right? Because you're selling many books, but it's got me hooked. I mean, your voice, your style, the permission to just be who you are, to own your awkward, to lean into it. all the things. So that was very affirming to me that, okay, maybe I'm on the right track with all of this.
Yeah. I like that. And again, when you're okay with yourself, you're less needy. And that means you can add value to other people's lives in such a more effective way. And I've seen this all the time because I'm in the media, and there's so much people go into the media because they're needy a lot of times. They need attention, they need significance. And I'm sure that was part of the mix originally for me, wanting to be a newsman or whatever it was, because that's very human. But growing out of that, man, just owning, like you said, like owning your awkwardness and being okay with that, it just allows you. The idea of blessing someone, that literally just means adding value to someone's life. So to think, God's equipped me with words. How can I use those to add value to people's lives? And that puts you in a much stronger position to do that when you're finally over trying to pose. There's so much image management that goes into life for people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, and really what you're talking about, the beauty of it is by owning who you are and just leaning into that, it's actually taking the focus off of yourself because you're not thinking about yourself. You're just free to be who God wired you to be.
Yeah. And to not like, a lot of times we get really anxious because of trying to control what people think of us versus being on that person's side. Like just being radically for people. And if they don't have time for you, or if they think you're weird and they're done with you, oh, okay, that's all right. I'm still for them. It's not about me. Like you said, that's just, it becomes not about you.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just, again, to me, it's like this, not conundrum. That's not the right word, but is ironic the right word? It's
paradoxical.
Thank you. That's the word. Yes. So it is kind of a paradox because it's like to be free and to be who you are, right? So in a sense, it's like, okay, well, that's thinking about yourself, but somehow in that process, there's just a letting go of all concern, like you said. So now I can just be myself because I'm not looking to you to affirm me or tell me that I'm okay or not okay, or depending on, my followers or likes or this or that. I can just be free and love you whether it's mutual or not.
Yeah. And this isn't just saying, hey, you got to like me with all my problems. Right. You got to whatever.
Right.
I'm a sarcastic jerk, but hey, that's me.
Yeah. Screw you if you don't like that. Yeah.
This is not that. This is just not being less needy. And that allows you to listen to people, which is very rare in our culture. Just being able to listen because you're not thinking, I need this person to walk away thinking this about me. Like that alone is striking. It's also true that we're always changing. That's just a fact. I was reading The Good Life. It's a new book by a couple Harvard researchers. They've been doing this longitudinal study for years on hundreds of people. It's fascinating, but they just say people think of adulthood as this static period of your life. It's not. You're still being formed. And I think that as somebody who's a believer in Jesus, like I'm still being formed. I'm still changing. And it's the direction I'm changing is based on what I pay attention to entirely.
Yes. That was one of your chapters in this latest book that I really, truly appreciated. That's something I think that I need to pay attention to paying attention, right?
Yeah, well, all of this. I mean, that's the currency of life too. It's like, it's our attention. You pay it. You pay to attend something, but that determines who you're becoming tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So if I'm going to become a more graceful person, somebody who's more at ease with himself and the world, somebody who's genuinely at peace, well, that depends on what I've been paying attention to. 100%. So I think it's really important what we're changing into. Like that's really important because that'll be what determines whether we can be a blessing to other people or not.
Yeah. And I will say, I'll internalize this a bit. I bet it's not just me, but I can only speak for me. Often I find when I stop to pay attention to it, that the fact that I haven't been paying attention is like, oh gosh, I feel down. I feel this, whatever. I'm not happy with myself or blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking about myself too much. Yeah. Often there's a disconnect. Like I'm not thinking about, well, why is that? right?
Right, right.
It's just like, well, it's just because I'm alive. It's like, well, no, maybe there's some connection to the decisions that I've been making and what I've been exposing myself to. And again, I don't think I'm unusual. I think a lot of us go through life disconnected from the decisions that we're making.
And the emotions. So I'm not a fan of trusting my emotions. So that's a big part of Blessed Are the Misfits too. It's like in a Christian experience, people presume emotion is spirituality. Like if I get emotional, I feel God is with me and I must, but that's not spirituality biblically. It's not about emotions, it's about loyalty. Like so and I can do that even if I don't feel God around.
Right.
That could be for a number of reasons that have nothing to do with the fact that God has left the building or not. Like his presence doesn't depend on my emotions, but the emotions can, if you're feeling a certain way, you can go, okay, let me spectate on that. Why do I feel this way?
Yes.
Which is brilliant. It's mental health is what that is.
Right.
Like you're not ruled by your emotions. You can step back and go, okay, my emotions are like dashboard lights that are going off.
Yeah.
What's going on? But then you can speak to your emotions too. You can talk to yourself, which David does, like in Psalms.
Yeah. Why so downcast, oh my soul? Why so disturbed within me? Right.
Yeah. Put your trust in God. He's talking you there. He's talking to himself.
Yeah.
Repeatedly. This happens in Lamentations too. It's like I can see everything being destroyed. I see the news. Everything's going down fast. My nation is going down. Yet I call this to mind, and therefore I have hope. Because of the Lord's great love for us, we are not consumed. Mercies are new every morning. Yet I call this to mind. So it's like, I may feel this way or that way, but that doesn't determine reality. Yeah. And that's a wonderful thing to realize.
It really is. And there's levels of intention, because we have to be intentional to even stop to consider that, because otherwise what you're talking about is, if my emotions are my reality, then it's just like, okay, well, this is what I'm breathing in. And it never goes beyond that. It's just like, well, I guess this is it. But, but our emotions are telling us something. It is like a dashboard. It's like, okay, it could be telling me something that's true. It could be celebrating something great. Oh, I'm blissful. I'm on a cruise and the boat's not rocking and it's beautiful. Or it could be, I'm miserable and I never stop to think, well, why? What's going on? And not just externally, what's going on internally? What am I thinking? What am I believing is true?
Yeah. What am I eeating? Have I had a nap?
Yeah.
I mean, it comes down to that. But they don't determine reality. That's all. It's like, something might even make you feel good that ultimately is destructive. So you just can't trust those things. You know what's wonderful though? Once you stop trying to impress people, you can be more creative.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah.
And so one thing that really helped me, and here's why you should still write your version of the book. That's my second book. My first book is called Unoffendable, and it's about anger. But I read a book by Seth Godin, who's like this marketing guy.
Oh yeah, The Dip.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
So he wrote a book called Linchpin.
Oh yeah, yep. Okay.
And it was about creating things just as gifts, not thinking, how do I leverage this to get a big platform? How do I get a? And you don't have to be perfect. Just make it, even if it's mediocre and you make it, it's better than not having made it. And he's like, look, he said about himself, I'm not the best writer in the world, but at least I ship it. At least I get it done. At least I hit send. I hit post.
Yeah, I did it.
I finished the thing. And that unlocked me when I heard. So that's how I wrote my first book, which now just went over 250,000 copies sold. It's not perfect, but that freed me up to just go, it's not about me making something awesome, about me just get stuff done, enjoying the process. And that was really helpful. So once it's not about you, there's a lot of pressure that's off. You're not trying to be perfect, not trying to impress anybody. And you can actually, when the pressure's off, you can really be creative and get stuff done.
Yeah, that's, I think that's unlocking a few things in me. I've shared this story before. I think I've written about it, but, this is going back a few years for me, but I remember, that's that famous story of the talents, the parable, 10, 5, and 2 or 5, 3, 1. So, I remember reading that and just having this conversation, and And it was really a listening conversation. It was really more like, okay, God, I hear what you're saying. And what he was saying to me is, so you think I'm that kind of a person that you want to bury your one talent? Because internally I was saying, yeah, I don't have much and who cares and blah, 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 all that stuff, like all the excuses of why I think I only have the one talent and what's the point? And Holy Spirit was really challenging me on that. I said, so that's what you think of me. Hey, and it wasn't, he wasn't being mean, but he was really challenging me to get out of that mindset. And that just ties into what you're saying, right? It's like, just do it.
There's another aspect of it too that was stopping me, honestly, was perfectionism.
Yeah.
Perfectionism stops you from doing stuff.
Yep.
So, or it makes you study the process of doing the thing and not actually do the thing. Like I can read books about writing and not actually write. And saying, you know what, if I write it and it's mediocre and I finish it, at least I tried.
Yeah.
And for me, that really helped because I think I hadn't written because I still wanted to create this epic thing. And maybe I'm not capable of writing Lord of the Rings. Maybe I was capable of doing Brant stuff, and that's okay. Yeah,
boy, are you talking to me right now? And
I wondered. I think it's pretty common.
And I trust that that's probably a lot of people's stories, right? Yep. The things that hold us back, whether it's, well, it doesn't matter, or I don't have much, or if it's not perfect, I'm not going to do it, or, or just thinking too much about ourselves.
Yeah, right? That's just, why did I think I was somehow capable of being Tolkien-esque? I'm not Tolkien. So sometimes if you grow up too, and, I have my weaknesses academically, but I'm a good words guy. So you grow up thinking I'm a good writer. And so, man, the pressure's on now. This better be an epic masterpiece, sweeping tome.
Yeah. Because the thing that you don't do is perfect because you haven't done it. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Yeah. But as long as it's out there and you haven't actually risked anything, it can be perfect in your mind. But that's right. Not what God has called us to. No. He's called us to offer what we have, right?
And to partner with him in life. And him, he's looking for partners.
Yes.
And Adam and Eve, Abraham, whatever you do, he wants to do that with you. And you with him.
Yep.
And prayer becomes just talking about what you and God are doing in life together. Yeah. That's all.
Yeah. And that is the key word, is with, right? There's somebody else that, we've had on the podcast who likes to write on the subject about, it sounds good and it sounds holy. So, well, I'm going to do this for Jesus. I'm going to do this for God. And that's nice, but he'd much rather we do it with him.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So, okay, now I think we've talked about a lot of good stuff. And part of me is thinking, but we need to talk more about your book. But I think in many ways we have been talking about a lot of the themes of this latest book. So here's where I think I want to land us. There were several quotes that I pulled out. Let me see if I can find the one that I want to quote back to you. Actually, you know what? I'm going to land on this one because I think it speaks to where we are. He said in one of your earlier chapters, I believe the desire to please you does, in fact, please you. So I'd just like you to maybe riff a little bit on that and, see where we go.
Well, I can't remember what the context was.
So I think, all right, and I probably have to pull it up too, but I think it was it's on the same topic of, well, what if I don't do it right? Or what if I screw it up? Or what if it's not good enough? Or,
I think there's a childlikeness that comes with this.
Yeah.
Where you can imagine if you have a kid, if you've ever been a parent, an earnest effort to please you as a parent that's all you're asking for. That desire to please me pleases me.
Right.
So I'm not, I think that's probably where I was going with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just one little sentence, but I think there's such freedom in that because I think so many of us are kind of living that, I want to please God and I want to do my best. But it's never going to be good enough and I'm never going to get right. And, and then before we know it, all we're doing is thinking about ourselves.
Right. That's too much pressure.
Yeah. And there's freedom, right? Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. So like I said, there's so much more we could talk about, but I'm just this is a point where I'm just going to hand it back to you, commercial for how do people get this book?
It's at any of the book places, Amazon and whatnot. And out of all the books I've written, I think my favorite one is Blessed Are the Misfits still.
Yeah.
I really do. We don't talk about that stuff enough. And there's so many people that think something's wrong with me because I'm not having these Christian feelings. I'm in a worship service and everybody else is like, oh, this is, well, or I'm too analytical or something. Like, no, that's not spirituality. It's loyalty. And any of us can do that, can keep showing up, talking and partnering with him. So I'm glad you ran across that book, and I hope it's a blessing to people.
Yeah, well, it surely has blessed me, and I will say this. So yeah, the reason I'm doing what I'm doing is that it just became so apparent to me. You know, we are wired by God for a purpose, on purpose, right? He's wired us the way we are. It doesn't mean that everything about us is healthy. It doesn't mean that we don't have some growing to do. Like you said, we're going to be growing till the day we die if we choose to do so. But too many of us are trying to be somebody else, right? And that's a whole other topic. But God has wired us for his purpose. And we find that purpose by actually not thinking so much about ourselves and just leaning into who he's made us to be.
It's a whole lot more fun. I'll tell you that. It's a heck of a lot more fun instead of be thinking, how am I coming across? How big's my platform? How's just do the thing and enjoy the process and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, amen to that. And Brant, thank you so much. This has been such a great and short conversation. So I hope someday we get to do this again. Because one thing we really didn't talk about that I know you're passionate about is your work for cure. And that's just exciting. That is the kingdom of God, bringing recovery and bringing restoration.
Well, I'll just say one quick thing. Go to cure.org if you want to see something. Like if you ever need if you ever want to see something that's like a Jesus-shaped mission, healing these kids around the world. People haven't even heard about it, and it's too good. There's nothing like it. These surgical hospitals are all about Jesus and healing, and we healed 18,000 kids last year. Surgeries. You can imagine that. All in the name of Jesus. It's fascinating. It's just cure.org. So that's it.
Okay. Well, and that's a good place to land. So I'm eager to learn more. So once again, thank you so much. God bless you in Florida. I'll try not to be jealous and sneer when I say that. But actually, right now, I think summer-wise, we've probably got it on you because it's not 105 degrees here.
And we're about to be hit by a succession of 57 hurricanes in a row. So
this is true. Yeah. So God bless you in that.
Thanks.
And all right, we'll take care, and we'll be looking forward to what God is doing in and through your life.
Thank you. God bless you. Nice meeting you.
You too. So I hope you check out cure.org. That's the God-sized mission that Brant was talking about. 18,000 kids being healed around the world. Amazing. Check that out. Check out Brant Hansen, BrantHansen.com. All kinds of great stuff on his website. You can get his books, Blessed Are the Misfits, and of course the new one, Life is Hard, God is Good, Let's Dance. So much good stuff. Also check us out here on the Isle of Misfits.com, ISLE of Misfits.com. So much Misfit fun for everyone, and we want you to be a part of this community. We want you to subscribe to the website, to the blog, so you can get alerts. Love for you to give us a shout out on Apple Podcasts or iTunes. If you like this podcast, give us a great review. It helps us to get visible. Most of all, keep owning your awkward. Keep loving your fellow misfit. Keep seeking beauty and truth everywhere